Hello everyone. We are going to deal with a new poem named Animals. It's written by Walt Whitman. Okay? Walt Whitman was an American poet, an essayist, and a journalist. He was born in the year 1819 on May 31st, and he died in the year 1892 on March 26th. As we go through the poems of this Walt Whitman, we see that he was considered to be an humanist, because he was a part of the transition between transcendentalism and realism, incorporating both views in his work. Transcendentalism is pure love for nature and good nature human being, and realism is something that we can see in our practical life. So mixing up this transcendentalism and realism, he has given very beautiful poems in his writings or in his collections. Okay? And also we see this Whitman is among the most influential poets, the American canon. Canon means the poets were generally considered to be good. Okay? And he was called as the father of free verse. And once we go through his poems, we can see the influence of transcendentalism. Actually, transcendentalism is something which transforms a person or which helps a person to go beyond the ordinary experience, from what we see, what we hear, what we taste, touch or feel. That is going beyond our senses. That is transcendentalism. It's a kind of imagination that brings divine reality or a spiritual illumination. Okay? So transcendentalism, in simple words, we can say that it is something like purification of our soul and bringing a spiritual imagination once we go beyond the ordinary experience that we are experiencing through our senses. Okay? And for the poet, here we see that he purely believes in achieving purification of the soul and spiritual illumination only after going through tough times like sufferings, despair, disappointments and dark nights. Once you fight all these things, once you overcome all these things with your spiritual enlightenment, then you are experiencing a divine reality or transcendental self. I hope you understood what transcendentalism is all about. That is going beyond one's own reality in life. Transcendentalism is, in other words, we can say that it's divine reality. It is having a divinity, the bliss that you experience from heaven or from God, that to our souls. Okay? That is a kind of purification of soul, wiping away all the disappointed, desperate situation from your life, thinking only good about the things that we experience in our day-to-day life. That is transcendentalism. And this transcendentalism can be experienced by only a person who thinks positive in life and who never wanted to experience negativity in life and see the suffering of others or just criticize others, cannot able to experience transcendentalism in life. In total, we see that transcendentalism is nothing but is equal to a good-natured man, seeing only blissful things in life. That is beyond our five senses. Okay? That can be considered to be an imagination, but for good things. Something good that you just imagine, something good that you just hear, something good that you taste, touch or feel. That is transcendentalism, going beyond this ordinary experience. That is transcendentalism. Now, talking to our Walt Whitman, he is someone likewise. So that's why he is considered to be one among the American canon, or a person who lives in the lines of good poets. Okay? Then, what we see in our poem is taken from The Leaves of Grass. And in this Leaves of Grass, there is a song or there is a part like Song of Myself. Okay? Song of Myself is a poem that is included in his work Leaves of Grass. And as I told you that this Leaves of Grass is a kind of 5 or 6 sections. Okay? Not 5 or 6 sections. it just comprises of different many sections. And here we see that this Song of Myself has been credited as representing the core of Whitman's poetic vision. Actually, from section 1 till the end of the Song of Myself, we can see that the inner self of Walt Whitman is expressed, or his illuminative soul just expresses the poetic vision throughout the Song of Myself. Okay? And throughout this Song of Myself, he is discussing the relative properties of the mind and soul. He is trying to coordinate between the importance of soul and body. Okay? And he finds that body has value, for it leads man to a unified self, a purified combination of body and soul. Once you attain bliss, salvation in your soul, then only you can experience goodness in your body. Good thinking gives you good health. So that is what here the Song of Myself just coins. Okay? And when we come to this poem, we can see that 3 important themes were highlighted throughout the Song of Myself. One is the idea of self, that is personal. The idea of our personal self, how we should be. Then what we are intended to do, why we are created. So all this self-thinking should be there, and that is the one thing. And the second one is the identification of self with other selves. That means as we are living in this world as a social animal, a human being who is devoted to do service to others, we need to identify ourselves with other people. A sort of harmony between people, a mutual understanding. That is another theme that is highlighted, that what we can learn good from others. Then the third important theme that is presented throughout the poem is the poet's relationship with nature and the universe. Okay? Walt Whitman has written so many poems that is connected closely with nature. In each and every poem, we can see a close element of nature is appreciated. And here, in this poem also, we can see that he has administered the nature's bliss of animals. Here, another living organism that lives in nature, animals, is given. So, let's see what he talks about in this poem. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat or whine about the condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick, discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relation to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possessions. I wonder where they get these tokens. Did I pass that huge times ago and negligently drop them? So these animals is taken from section 32 of the Song of Myself. Already we have seen that is the core of Walt Whitman's inner vision or poetic vision. So from Song of Myself, this part of animals is taken from section 32. And in this section, here the poet is dedicating this part of poem to animals. And he was trying to highlight how animals have a healthy attitude towards life. They are not tensed, they are not disappointed, and they are not depressed, and they don't feel guilty for what they have done. That is the main important point that we people need to learn from animals. Okay? And also we see that the poet brings the life of animals who are created lower to human beings by man. Even though God created animals first, but still then God had given control of these animals to man. Okay? And we see that here he is indirectly just pointing out human beings to look at animals who don't feel guilty in their life. And here, in this very minor or small lines of section 32, the poet is showcasing some important qualities that human beings lack in their life. And he is portraying the qualities of animals, what they are, how they are leading a life. Even though we are living in a sinful world, we need to learn something from others. That also we have discussed in the theme, the second theme, knowing about ourselves and having a harmony with other selves. And here, another point that in this section 32 of Song of Myself, the poet is trying to create a new relationship with animals as they have all qualities to attain spiritual illumination in life. Illumination here means enrichment, enlightenment in life. So that part of section 32 of Song of Myself just giving out special attention to the nature's bliss, a part of nature's bliss, that is animals. One part of nature is highlighted in this section 32 also, that is animals. Okay, so now let's see the first two lines of the poem. What is it? Take your textbook, all of you, and let's see what it was given in the first two lines of the poem Animals. As we have already seen that the poet just tries to tell us how he feels when he sees animals. Okay, so let's see. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. See, only two lines, but still then it contained, the huge meaning in it. Here in these two lines, the meanings of the difficult words, placid means calm or peaceful. The second one is self-contained. Self-contained means keep control over. So what here the poet was trying to say is, in these two lines, the poet is just highlighting his wish to live with animals. He wanted to be in a world of animals. That's why he says that I think I could turn and live with animals. Why? The reason why he thinks or he wish that I wanted to turn. What is the meaning of turn here? I wanted to move away from the world in which he is residing now to adapt himself with the world of animals. What is the reason? Because the world of animals are so calm and self-contained. They are leading a peaceful life and they are self-contained. What is contained means? Self-contentment. It is contentment. They are self-satisfied. They are satisfied with what they have in their life, unlike human beings. And even though it was given only two lines here, a huge difference between the world of human and animals are presented here. First one here it says that why I am ready to turn to the world of animals is because animals are not greedy. They are not running after worldly pleasures, unlike whom? Unlike human beings. That's why they are leading a peaceful life. That's why they are said to be self-contented. Contented means self-satisfied with what all things they have in their life. They are satisfied with that. They work only for what they want in their life daily. They are not just keeping up a granary, or they are not just keeping up a lot many things for the next 10 generation. Okay? And also, whatever they wanted in their life, for the time being, they just go, search it, find it, have it, satisfied. But they are not greedy. But what about human beings? Definitely they are greedy. Even just talking about myself and all the people around us, we have seen the greedy attitude of people. That means they are not satisfied with what they have in their life. Since they are not satisfied, they can't lead a peaceful life. Always they are in tension, worries, stress, disappointments, despair, no happiness. But What about animals? Once they go out and have their prey or have their food, they just come back to their den or come back to their place, come back to their forest, take a good nap, enjoy the night. Then again they go out, search for the prey, have their food, enjoy likewise. Isn't it? And also another thing is that they never interfere in the life of others. They never look how other animal is living a life. And they won't just go and interpret their peaceful life. They are looking only at their own life. So that's why this poet says that animals are far more better than human beings. So that may be one of the reasons the poet says that let me turn. From where? From the world of human. The poet is indirectly get irritated with the nature of human being. Because of this irritating nature, he says that it's impossible to have harmony with soul and body. Because your mind is sick. You are thinking ill about others. You have a weak soul. As long as you are having a weak soul, you can't build up a healthy body in you. As long as you are not self-satisfied, you are not contented with what you have, you will never experience peace of mind or have a calm nature in life. And we are running each and every moment of our life for getting more things in our life. We are not satisfied. So that's why the poet says that I am fed up leading a life with the human. And if I continue to be in the world of human beings, for sure I am not going to experience spiritual bliss. And that is possible only if I can just live with whom? Live with animals. Because why? They are free of tension. They lead peaceful life. They look only at their own affairs. They don't interfere in the matters of others. The love and the innocence and the life of animals are worth to look and experience. You have got many things to learn from animals. You may think that animals are cruel. Why they are cruel? They are cruel only because they wanted their food. Isn't it? And they are not interfering in the life of others. As the law of nature, sometimes they go and have their prey. Once they have their prey, they just come to their place and they take rest. Okay? So that's why the poet says that I am fed up leading a life with humans. I wanted to attain some spiritual bliss in my life. And that's not possible if I continue to live with human beings. So here the poet wished that let me turn. Let me turn means let me move from the present life to the world of animals. He wanted to create a new relationship with animal world because he loves to see what? The positive aspects of love and care shown by the animals. Okay, you might have seen, what is that? A group of animals of same breed. They stand united. Isn't it? And here poet says that I wish to stand here, and that's why the last second line of the first part says that I stand and look at them long and long. I wish to stand for a long time to watch the world of animals. The unity that they built in the flock is amazing. They work together for their self-protection. As a team, there is no ego, isn't it? There is no depression, tension, nothing likewise. They all go together, isn't it? So that's why the poet wished that let me turn from my present life, from the humans to the world of animals, because they live a peaceful and self-contained life, self-satisfied life. And I wish to stand and look at them for a long time because they do not interfere in the life of others. Okay? So I think we can deal with these 4 lines. They do not sweat and whine about the condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for the saints. They do not make me sick, discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Okay, so now why the poet says that he wanted to live. Okay? And line by line, he was just giving explanation, the reasons for why he wanted to live in this world of animals. Some of the qualities that is portraying through this poem. The first one is, they do not sweat and whine about the condition. Sweat and whine means they do not complain and cry about the condition. Unlike human beings, they are happy with what they have, how they are, and they will never cry out like human do. Okay? They will never complain, I don't have this, I don't have that, I want that one. Nothing like that. Whatever they get, they are satisfied. And they will never go to any other higher authority to complain. Okay? So, that's why it says that they never cry out because they lack things. And they will never complain anything about their condition. Whether they have it, whether they don't have, whether they are extreme cold, whether they are experiencing hot, whether they have food, whether they are starving, they will never complain. But what about human beings? For each and every minute things, human beings have a tendency to complain. Even if something good is happening, they try to find something wrong and they'll try to complain. Whatever condition they are living, they are happy with that. They never worry about what they lost in their life. But are we like that? Are we not complain about anything? Just think about how many complaints will you make a day. When someone looks at you, that is also a complaint. When someone takes something up that belongs to you, that is a complaint. When someone points at you, that is a complaint. When someone says something about you, you will cry. But nothing happens in the world of animals. Isn't it? We are not having a satisfied life. So that is the first quality that the poet is highlighting. They do not sweat and whine. Whine means cry. They do not complain about in which condition they are. I hope that by the grace of God you all are perfect. But still then, we are just finding a way to complain about the things which are not pleasing to our life. So that is one reason that the poet says that I wanted to live in the world of animals, because they don't complain about their condition. The next line says that they do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. Says that there is no mistake. They are living in a world where there is no mistake. Because animals never stay awake crying for the mistake they have done. It says that human beings are not like that. As we are complaining, as we have the attitude of complaining about things, sometimes we complain about something that is unknown. And that may create a guilty feeling in us. Isn't it? So what will happen? Is it possible for you to sleep quietly at night? No. That mistake will haunt you. That sin that you have committed will haunt you. And you will not get a comfortable sleep at night. But in the world of animals, there is nothing like that. When the sun set, they all slowly go to their house, to their dwelling, and they comfortably sleep there. And they don't have the need to wake up at night and repent for the sin, for the wrongdoing that they have done. Just count the number of mistakes that you are doing per day. Can you able to count it out? Can you able to guess how many lies that you have said a day? Can you just remember how many people that you made feel bad with your action, with your deeds, with your words? So when you do all these things, you can't sleep quietly and comfortably because you feel guilty. But in the world of animals, the poet says that they do not lie awake in the dark. In the night, they sleep comfortably because purposely they won't do any mistake. And they don't feel guilty at all. And they never felt repentance for their wrongdoing. Isn't it? Whatever they have, they are happy. They will never interfere in the matters of others. They will never do a sin in their life. Sin, the word sin means something that you are doing against the will of God. If you are betraying your brother, that is a sin. If you're fighting against your brother, that is a sin. If you're talking against your elders, that is a sin. What about the world of animals? Nothing likewise happens there. So that is a world with no mistake. The poet says that this is one reason that I wanted to live in the world of these animals. Okay? So they never stay awake crying for the mistake they have done. And the next line says that they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. What does it mean? It says that the world of animals, unlike the world of human beings, it says that they never make boring to this poet by discussing their duty to God. Poet says that if I go and reside with the animals, I am pretty sure that they won't make me boring by discussing their duty to God. What is the duty to God? Duty to God is duty to human being, and duty to God are just like similar. Once you love your family, once you love your neighbor, it's equal to that you're loving your God. It's because you're loving your God. And also we see that people are very crazy about being in a religion. They are mad about their religion. In the name of this religion, they are doing so many mistakes in their life. And ultimately they will say that, yes, I am doing this for God. So says that they know only how to preach. Human beings know only how to preach. At the very same time, they do mistakes also. And they just justify all these mistakes and telling that this is that it's our duty to God. Taking the name of God in vain. Says that human beings are not truthful. But considering the life of the animals, they never talk about God, they never talk about religion, they never talk about the duty to God. They'll do as per the orders, as per the logic that was given to them by God. And animals are also truthful for what they are, where they are. And they never give any promise in the name of God. But in the world of human beings, you know that in order to gain something in life, they give mere promises in the name of God and do all the mistake. And also we see that in the name of religion, in the name of God, we are doing a lot of crimes. And that will never help us to live happily in our life. Says that in the world of animals, they'll never make any mistake by giving a false promise to anyone in the name of God. Okay? So the poet says that they are very truthful. They never boast of their God, or they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. They will never cheat anyone. But human beings are just opposite. We are bribing others, we are cheating others, we are giving false promise, all in the name of God. But actually, are we doing sincerely all these things as what we say? And there is no match between the words and the action that we are doing. That's why this poet says that man does mistake and on the other hand preach about the duty to God. And he feels so irritated in this attitude of this human being. He was fed up living in the world of human beings. He was feeling so sad, disappointed. And he seems to be like, enough is enough. And he doesn't want to continue in the world of human beings. So he thought that let me go and live with animals because they will never make me sick. They will never make me boring by discussing the duty to God. And the next line says that these animals are satisfied in the sense that not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. And in this line, it clearly says that man is very possessive. He is mad at gaining things. It says that it's a kind of mental illness that human beings just possess. That's why the poet says that mania. What is that mania? Mania means mental illness. Whatever you get in your life, you are not satisfied. But in the world of animals, when he started living with animals, he says that they are not dissatisfied. That means they are satisfied with what they have. They are not crying out for not having a luxurious home. They are not crying, or they are not just spending their each and every moment of life cheating others for gaining things in life. Says that they never run behind worldly pleasures, ignoring their duty to oneself. And in the world of human beings, we are physically attached to many kinds of possessions. One after the other, we go for attaining things in life. We are not satisfied. Even if you have a house, you are not satisfied. Even if you have a vehicle to travel, you are not satisfied. Even if you have enough money to live a happy life, you are not satisfied. You always have a competing mentality in your life that you wanted to become someone greater than the other person, than your neighbor, than your brother, than your family members. So the poet says that is a mania. What is a mania? It's a mental illness. And this mental illness of owning things, what is that owning things? To have possessed in life, says that this madness cannot be seen in the life of animals. You know that man just runs after money. He runs after possessing things, and he never bother about killing others for attaining their selfish attitude. And all these things cannot be seen in the world of animals. They are satisfied. They are happy with what they have. So this is another reason the poet says that yes, this is why I wanted to live with animals. I won't be disappointed. I won't be irritated with all this mental illness that is seen in the world of human beings. So anyhow, the poet says that I'm admired by the qualities of these animals. Even if they are wild, they look only for leading a life of their own. They never interfere in the life of others. They will never run after possessing things, owning things, and they are not mad. Okay? So these are some of the things the poet wish that we human beings do have in our life. But we lack all these qualities. And he was fed up. That's why he just says that I wanted to live. I wanted to create a relationship with animals. In the next class, let's see what are some of the things that human beings are just doing rather than being a good human being. Okay? That's all for today's class. Have a great day. God bless you. Thank you.